In today's video, I'm going to talk about why Airtable is the best software for ranch management that most ranchers have probably never heard about. So, what is Airtable? Airtable is a spreadsheet like relational database, meaning it looks and feels a lot like Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets, but it is actually a relational database, meaning you can relate two pieces of different information to each other and perform advanced calculations and extract rich insight off that data. So what we have is the interface here. This is the data layer. We have cells, we have rows, we have columns, and we have tabs. So in Airtable, these are actually called tables. Rows are called records. Columns are called fields. And if I expand this record, it shows us data that's relevant only to this record. So I'm going to close that out. Just this data going across this record. You can see it has this related piece of data here that's called a linked record. And if I click on this, I can actually, you'll see this line goes to grazing records. So it's related to the grazing records, but it's actually in the pasture table. So I can see all sorts of information related to this grazing record. I'm going to close out of that. And a column in Airtable is a specific data type, meaning a number is a number, a date is a date, and you can't change that like you can in Excel, where if you accidentally make the wrong keystroke, it kind of wipes out the entire formula, and you have to spend a little time rebuilding it. So it maintains data integrity. So I'm going to give you just two examples of Airtable and the power that it has. The first is this grazing records, and you can see that a timeline view of your grazing records is pretty much like the gold standard for a grazing plan. A lot of people do this on a big white sheet of paper, or they'll like draw it out in Excel, but really once you put it in Excel, you can't do much with it. So one cool thing here I want you to take notice of is this end date down here. It says October 9th, but if I wanted to move the entire grazing plan up by like 4 days, I could hover over this and I can see that this particular section, this particular move is 9 days long. And I'm just going to actually drag this to the right, right there. So now if you look down here, you can see that October 18th is the new end date. So what was that before? October 9th. And it works the other way. So if I want to back this up, just take note of this blue line, which is today. If I back this entire thing up and just put it right there, you can see it backed the entire grazing plan up exactly in line with every date that was supposed to happen. So I'm going to undo that. And you can also grab it here in the middle. So let's say it's been raining a lot and I want to just keep the cattle in this pasture they're in there currently for 12 days. Let's say we want to go out to 21 days. Everything downstream of that is going to move in cadence with what I just did. So right there, you can see the power of the grazing plan in Airtable. Now, moving on is the dashboards in Airtable. So let me go back here real quick. We have the data layer, we have automations layer, and we have the interface layer. This is the interface layer. So right here we have expense tracking for all of the livestock. And I can drill down into this expense tracking on a super granular level. If I want to drill down to see all the expenses by category, I can do that. And then if I want to drill down into a particular expense, I can open that up and I can see fertilizer lime amount 2,000, but let's say, oh, that's not right. Let's say this was 4,000 or $5,464.72. That's all I did to change it right there. And then if this wasn't related to the 3-year-old cows, I could easily reallocate that to the 2-year-olds. And if this wasn't a direct cost, but rather like machinery and equipment or interest, let's say M&E, that's how easy it is to update and change records in Airtable. So here's just some other dashboard views that we have. So this is like production summary insights. These are conception rates. We have preg check data. You can see here we have pregnancy status versus disposition rating. We have some really cool pivot tables for disposition by breed type, preg status by age, and then we have some calving data insights. So this is why Airtable is the most advanced and best ranch management software on the market. And it's because Airtable isn't marketed to ranchers or farmers, and that's exactly why it's so powerful. It wasn't built with a narrow set of assumptions like the map, which I think is just pretty ridiculous because you don't manage a ranch through a map. But it's like super flexible, great relational database that can be molded to fit the unique demands of any operation, whether you're tracking cattle, pastures, grazing, treatments, finances, time tracking, projects, but you can relate everything to one another with Airtable. It keeps your data clean, accurate, and usable in real time. So the end result, you spend less time wrangling spreadsheets and more time making informed decisions. Airtable gives you the same level of precision and insight that Fortune 50 companies use to run all of their workflows, but in a tool simple enough to be run from basically the cab of your pickup with like a simple form that you can access on the internet. And so for farmers and ranchers, it's not just another app. It's literally the foundation for a smarter, more efficient operation. If you enjoyed this video, click that like button, subscribe to the channel. I know there's not much in here now, but there's going to be more coming almost every day. And also check out my Substack for other articles related to ranching in rural America. Thanks.